All right, Sasha, where in the world are we today?
We're about 7 miles off the southeast coast of England, where the coastlines of Essex turn into Suffolk, near the major port of Felixstowe.
Okay, and what brings us here?
This story has got everything, Tom. You have a helicopter assault with a sawed-off shotgun. You've got pirates, though not the kind you're thinking of. You've got a place that becomes sovereign territory to the point it gives out its own royal titles. And you have a battle royale over a floating military platform.
Wow.
This is Where'd Everyone Go? With me, Sasha Auerbach.
And me, Tom Ward. A journey into the weird history of abandoned places. I mean, looking at it, I wouldn't have guessed any of this.
No, looks pretty unassuming, doesn't it? But rugged.
To me, this looks, I'm looking at the video montage now, I'm seeing what looks like a disused oil.
Yep. It's actually a military installation, originally.
Okay.
But look at it. Look at how tough it's built. Look at those thick columns, to withstand the rough seas. I mean, this thing is built to last, and it lasted.
Yeah. So where does the story start?
Well, what we're looking at was built in 1942 to defend the Thames estuary during the war. It was designed by a guy named Guy Monsell and was known as the Monsell Sea Fort. It was officially named H.M. Fort Ruffs, or more casually, Ruff Towers.
Nice. Sounds like a fun place to be.
Doesn't it, though? It wasn't. It sits on a sandbar called Rough Sands, appropriately enough. And it's situated at a distance about 7 nautical miles from the coast, which is more than double what was then the internationally accepted 3-mile range of territorial waters. To put it briefly, this island was illegally placed in the international waters of the North Sea, but such restrictions were overlooked because it was a time of war.
Right, okay. So I'm sensing that something to do with the nautical miles is going to play a role in this.
It will indeed. But you should also be asking the question, why put a fort here to begin with?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Can I ask it?
You can.
Why put a fort there in the first place?
I'm glad you asked. To disrupt Nazi air raids and also to engage German torpedo boats trying to get up the estuary.
Right. God, those Nazis.
Oh, remember, they're not all Nazis. Most of them were just Germans. But
Right, okay.
I'm gonna put that aside.
But they
for
were
a-
sent by Nazis.
They were sent by the German war leadership. That's a fine point. We'll come back to that one. Now, there were 4 such forts at the mouth of the River Thames, and between those 4 forts, they shot down around 20 German planes and a similar number of doodlebugs. That's those little guided bombs that they sent over.
Oh, wow. So,
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was just a Wham lyric.
No, they were a real thing.
Doodlebug. I'm not imagining that,
I
am I?
think that's Jitterbug, Tom.
Oh,
But maybe the Germans sent over jitterbugs too. I couldn't tell you for sure.
okay.
Now, their main effect was a deterrent. The German air raids became a lot less frequent after these platforms were in place. You had a gun deck and a radar station on top. You had officers in the area just below. And then most of the men were stationed in the 2 towers, about between 150 and 300 men in total.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not a small number. The Marines and sailors down in the towers were encouraged to take up knitting and model building.
How lovely.
I know. Well, think about it. If you're stuck down a tower for days at a time, what they called Fort Madness was a thing.
Right.
It's very, very challenging being there for 22 hours a day.
Yeah, with 150 other blokes.
And just one stove.
Oh, God.
Not well heated.
No. And the living conditions.
Yeah.
How many toilets?
I don't know. There might have been more than one stove. There might have been no stove at all for all I know.
Oh, man, just cold beans.
Cold, wet, isolated, fearing German attack all the time.
Yeah, spam.
Spam.
Was that around then?
I believe it was. Spam in a can.
Yeah.
So there's another aspect to this, right? Because the forts aren't torn down when the war is over. They are repurposed, which brings me to one of the protagonists of our story, Patrick Roy Bates, the founder of what becomes known as Sealand.
Okay.
You see where we're going with this. He's going to found his own independent country on the platform.
Can you do that?
No. But he's going to do it anyway.
Wow. I like this guy.
So Patrick Roy Bates was born in 1921. He served in World War II, rose to the rank of major. And once the war is over...
Was he ever master?
Was he ever a master? Master major? Oh, I see where... I'm not even going to say it. You're not going to lure me into saying it. Once the war was over, he becomes a fisherman before entering into the world of pirate radio in the summer of 1965.
I like the leap there.
Yeah. Pirate radio.
It's not a natural career arc.
No, you got to wear an eye patch when you're doing pirate radio.
Yeah.
Helps if you have a parrot, too.
Well, you're a fisherman, and then he just suddenly had a thought. Maybe his rod got caught, and he picked up a frequency.
Not everyone.
Can you hear that?
Maybe his wife got on him for always coming home smelling like fish, and he was just like, I'm a fisherman. What am I going to do? So
why don't you go and bloody start a radio?
Yeah, that seems like a natural reaction.
Just get out. Go away. You stink.
Yeah, well, he got out all right. He got way far out. I mean...
I'll show you.
7 nautical miles off the coast.
I'll start a bloody country. Get away from you and all your yapping.
Yeah. But first the radio. So, in the 1960s, Europe enjoys an era of broadcasting called pirate radio. And it's called that because they broadcast from ships and marine structures outside of their target country's territorial borders. Technically illegal. Broadcasting into the country, hence the term pirate radio.
Very naughty.
Yes, and pirate radio stations supplied everything that channels like the BBC, the national broadcaster, did not at the time. Pop music and amusing presenters, much like yourself, Tom.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. Probably the most famous of the offshore pirate radio stations was Radio Caroline, broadcast on and off for nearly 30 years.
Okay, I've heard about this one. I think there was a movie made.
There was a movie made. So, this brings us back to our man, Roy. After visiting the abandoned forts in the Thames estuary, he decided to use the Knock John Tower. Now, Radio City, a rival pirate radio station, briefly took over before Roy, quote unquote, persuaded them to leave.
Yeah. Oh, I like an inverted commas around the word persuaded. It has a real menace.
Thank you for enlightening our audience to that.
Yeah.
Now, the old World War II equipment like radio beacon transmitters were repurposed to help broadcast the radio station. And it did around-the-clock transmissions starting in October 1965. Now, Roy was served with a summons from the UK government for using a transmitter without a license. He was found guilty, and he was fined.
Okay.
His next move is to take control of Ruff's Tower, the one that we've seen in the video. And that happens in 1967 after fighting off some of Radio Caroline's staff who were interested in it as well.
Oh, so multiple people are trying to take this platform.
This is prime pirate radio territory, man.
Right.
You know?
So did he persuade them to go and find somewhere else?
Apparently so. I mean, the man is the pirate of pirate radio.
I sense that he kind of holds faces in toilets when he's persuading.
Well, if they have toilets. I mean, you got a lot of sea. Do you really need a toilet?
No, just put his head in the sea.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
In August of that year, 1967, an act came in forbidding broadcasting from marine platforms like Ruff's Tower.
My grandpa, not being the kind of man that could take no for an answer, he thought, well, where's the next jurisdiction? Where's out the UK government reach? And he found Ruff's Tower. And he came out here, and instead of starting a radio station, he thought, well, if it's no man's land and no one has jurisdictions, this is mine. And he declared his own country.
Wow. Simple as that.
Just like that.
You just rock up.
Yep. This is my country now. Sealand.
That was his grandson.
Yeah.
His grandson, Roy's grandson. Okay, he doesn't look overly bothered by the whole thing, does he? He's almost over it.
He doesn't look like much of a pirate either.
No.
No eye patch.
He's just an heir to
this
mad guy who went out there and decided to start his own country.
Well, that's something to, pin on, I suppose.
Yeah.
Anyway, at its peak in the early 1970s, Sealand had 50 people living on that platform, including the extended family and friends of Roy and maintenance personnel.
Okay.
But his claim did not go uncontested.
His claim that it was a principality.
His claim that it was his.
Right.
Remember, this is prime pirate radio territory.
Right.
You want to hold on to it, you're going to have to defend it.
Okay. So there was some angry pirate radio people trying to take it back?
Indeed, just for starters. The first summer they had control of Sealand, Liam's father was out there on his own and fought off 7 invasion attempts from various pirate radio stations and other chancers. Liam's father, I should point out, was a 14-year-old boy at the time.
Oh, he's a very young dad.
Well, he wasn't Liam's father yet.
Oh, right.
This is pre-Liam.
Okay. Oh, okay. So he was a 14-year-old kid fighting off 7 attempts.
Yes.
He must have been a little ninja.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how he did it.
How'd you do that?
Maybe he was a very burly 14-year-old.
Maybe he was very persuasive.
Yeah, I had the crap kicked out of me by a 14-year-old boy one time. So this stuff happens.
Yeah.
I was like 28 too.
Wow.
Anyway, Liam's dad had all sorts of defensive measures set up around the perimeter of Sealand. In one instance, some people took a small rubber boat out in the dead of night and they crept up towards the fortress. And Liam's dad had, here comes Molotov cocktails again. He had one of those puppies. He had them ready and he dropped them into the front of the boat, exploding and sinking the dinghy. And a follow-up boat came over to rescue the guys out of the water.
Okay, so he sent some rescue guys.
Well, he didn't drown. He didn't kill them.
No, it was a threat.
He just wrecked their boat.
Just light persuasion.
So they had to be pulled out of the drink.
Okay.
Now, according to their website, on several occasions, British warships entered the territorial waters claimed by Prince Roy of Sealand. But after several failed attempts to capture the fortress by force, and once by deception, the British Navy stood down. They couldn't be bothered anymore.
Okay. That's not a good look, is it, for a Navy to be beaten by one bloke on a platform?
Well, you don't want anyone to actually die in the effort, and is it really worth it? I mean, it's not really doing anything that harmful. They're just broadcasting radio, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
It's not like he's launching doodlebugs or Beetlejuice or whatever from that thing, It's just, it's just pop music and silly presenters.
Well, I mean, it could all get out of hand, though.
You got this podcast can get out of hand.
Nazis try and break in and play Nazi hits.
Do you think we have to worry about them breaking down the studio door?
I think they're never far away, are they, by all accounts? Based on the work we've done together so far, I see Nazis are pretty much everywhere.
Yeah, that's a good point. So, now there is some more serious violence involved. In 1968, British workmen entered what Bates claimed to be his territorial waters to serve as a navigational buoy near the platform. Michael Bates...
Do you mean boy?
Buoy, floating thing with the bell on top.
Is it spelled B-U-O-Y?
It is. Thank you for helping our listeners with that
just in case there's any English people listening.
Exactly. Or people who speak better English than I, which is probably most of our listeners. Anyway, Michael Bates tried to scare the workmen off by firing warning shots from the fort. Now, as Bates was a British subject at the time, he was summoned to court in England on firearms charges following the incident, because Britain takes firearms crimes very, very seriously. And the court ruled that the platform was outside British territorial limits, being beyond the 3 nautical mile limit. That's about 6 kilometers for our British listeners, which then applied to the country's waters. That was the limit at the time. And as a result, the case could not proceed because when he fired his shots, he wasn't within British jurisdiction.
Roy must have loved that.
Oh, man. Bates considers this Sealand's first instance of de facto legal recognition.
Nice. Yeah. Thrown out of court.
But, think about where we are, out in the English Channel, and you know another country's going to get involved. You know that Germany is also not going to stand for this paralegal kingdom being founded on its borders. So, in August 1978, a German lawyer named Alexander Achenbach, who'd previously had business dealings with the Bates family and described himself as the Prime Minister of Sealand, not the Prince, but the Prime Minister, stormed Sealand with a group of German and Dutch mercenaries, took control of the platform, and took Michael Bates hostage.
In 1978, my father was manning Sealand on his own. He was in his late 20s at the time. And one afternoon, a helicopter approached from the direction of Europe over there in a KLM helicopter. And as they approached, he was trying to persuade them not to land, waving them away. When he recognized who they were. They were some business associates of his and his father, Roy. And in spite of this, he still told them, don't land. I don't know if you're meant to be here or not. And they said, no. We've got this great business deal that we've signed with your father. We need to land. We need to come and we need to come talk to you about it. So my father insisted they didn't land. So they started winching themselves down. So my father was left with a split-second decision. Does he pull a gun? Does he shoot them? Or does he let them land and discuss it with them? So shooting your business associates is not very advisable. So he let them down. They had a conversation about it. And the whole thing kind of transpired to be a ruse. As they were in the building, they bundled him into one of the steel rooms and slammed the door shut and left him locked up there for 3 days.
Yeah, they meant business.
Should have trusted his instinct.
Well, you can't just go popping off at people simply because they're rappelling out of a helicopter. I mean, maybe they were bringing cookies.
Well, yeah, but how would they do it? Do you think they were shouting out of a megaphone? We're here for business.
Well, it wouldn't travel very far because they're in a helicopter, so all you'd hear was, whoa, business, whoa.
So how did they tell did the message get down from the helicopter to the platform?
Semaphores, flags, I'm sure.
Oh, with the word business on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
They just waved business. They just waved some. Did they use euros? Sorry, we're too early for euros. 1978.
Yeah, pounds.
Marks.
Yeah.
Anyway, the imprisonment doesn't last that long. The end of 3 days, the chap is dragged out onto the deck against his will with his arms and legs tied together, and he's loaded onto a Dutch fishing trawler. Now, this is my favorite part, the retaking of Sealand. So, what does Bates do? How's he going to get his Sealand kingdom back?
Liam's sent off in the trawler.
Yeah.
All the others are sent off in the trawler.
I don't know about that because he's alone. He's alone when they arrive. So this is a plan that's hatched later on.
A few days after my father was released from captivity, him and his father hatched a plan to recapture Sealand. They codenamed it Operation Trident. They started by enlisting the help of a former James Bond stunt pilot to fly the helicopter in the raid. They left at dawn from the UK, and they flew at full speed all the way to Sealand. They then hovered above and began to abseil down onto the helipad here. And before the rest of the raiding crew had even managed to abseil down to Sealand, my father had already jumped off of the end of the helipad, and in his haste to end the invasion and occupation, and his sawn-off shotgun hit the deck, the butt of it, and let a round off right next to his head. At which point, all of the invaders came running out of the building with their hands in the air in surrender.
I mean, they really surrendered quick, didn't they? Didn't they have their own guns?
They didn't know how many people they were being invaded with.
Right, they just heard the sound.
And plus, aren't they mercenaries? Maybe their pay had run out and they were happy to leave anyway. Would you want to stay on this isolated sea platform?
Maybe the novelty has started wearing off.
Yeah, quite quickly, I imagine. Anyway, the 4 original invaders are held captive and interrogated. And according to Liam, a couple of them came out with a kind of bloodied head and nose, where his grandfather was pistol whipping them when they gave him the wrong answers to the questions he was asking.
So he was persuading the answers out of them.
Persuading, yes. As a pirate will. Persuading in a piratey way. The following day, the Sun newspaper and others all hired boats, and they came out and photographed the prisoners. They wanted to know exactly what was going on, as word was spreading that there had been an incident on Sealand. Now, the family releases all but one of the invaders, a German man appropriately called Putz. And they kept hold of this Putz because he had a Sealand passport, and the Bates family wanted to put him on trial for, wait for it, treason.
He had a Sealand passport.
He had a Sealand passport.
How the hell did
he was an
get that?
inside man. I don't know. He acquired it.
Maybe Roy.
Putz was found guilty and sent to the World War II era prison at the bottom of the North Tower. He was apparently treated quite fairly. Over time, they let him spend more and more time above deck, and they had him making the tea for them and things like that. Now, Putz was a solicitor, and as his day job, and Liam thinks he kind of found himself mixed up in a bad situation, and that the actual invasion was very much out of his comfort zone. This isn't what he had signed up for.
Right. He just wanted to get involved with the boys.
Yeah, exactly.
A
But
little light espionage.
But he is
Sealand. Was he Dutch or German?
He was German.
Sealand.
And this is
what is
where
Sealand in German, Lewis?
Zeeland, I believe.
I've got no idea. Sorry.
Zeeland?
I think it's Zeeland.
Zeeland. We will change it from Sealand to Zeeland.
Yeah, and then it becomes a kind of nightclub.
Puts you in. Yeah, okay, I'll do the law stuff. And then he got over his head.
Yeah.
Suddenly there's a shotgun going off.
Yeah, now he's making tea for his captors.
I didn't sign up for this.
So he's there for 3 months, and this is where actually it becomes a kind of diplomatic crisis, because that's when the German embassy gets involved. They actually sent a diplomat to Britain to ask for intervention. But you know what Britain's going to say, right?
It's not our jurisdiction.
Exactly. So West Germany then sent a diplomat to Sealand directly to negotiate for the release of the prisoner.
Okay.
Yep. So Bates agrees to his release, and he was actually he was pretty pleased with himself because the diplomatic visit from a representative of the West German government legitimized his principality.
Okay. So in effect, they were basically calling it a country of its own by visiting it with diplomats.
Britain wasn't willing, so they had to talk to someone, and who better than the Prince of Sealand, right?
Right.
Go figure.
It's been thrown out of court because it's not in UK, in British waters. And now there's a diplomat visiting. So this is all building to this sovereignty narrative.
Yeah, but you got to imagine when something makes this much press, it's a bit embarrassing for the British government. And apparently they had something in the works to put this claim to bed. And it comes to fruition in 1987 when the United Kingdom extends its territorial waters to 12 nautical miles.
It's as easy as that, is it?
It's as easy as that, with a stroke of a pen. And that puts Sealand in waters internationally recognized as being British. Roy Bates dies in 2012, and Michael is now the prince and in charge, though he's been Prince Regent since 1999.
Hang on, how did you become a prince?
Well,
is it sort of just made up, or?
I mean, they declared it a sovereign nation, you know?
Well, they declared it a principality.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's so that the prince could have the final word on things.
Principality. I've never realized that.
Exactly. And people can become part of Sealand by paying for royal titles.
Oh, so it's quite loose.
Yeah, you know.
Can I apply?
Absolutely. For 40 British pounds, you can become a baron or baroness if you prefer. For 20, you can become a lord or lady. If you want to be a count or countess, that's going to cost you 200. And last, the gold circle, 500 British pounds, and you could be a duke or duchess of Sealand.
Can we do it now?
I think can we
ring them?
Can we put that in the budget, Lewis? For
can
both
you
of
ring?
us?
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
happy with being a count.
Is there a phone number?
Be a baron.
I want to be Baron of Sealand, and I'll pay. Take it out of my fee.
Yeah, that's £40. That
Yeah.
Baron is £40.
I want to be a count because I want to outrank.
I want to be a duke.
Tom.
I want to be a duke. I'll pay.
I'm not sure we got the budget for for duke status.
Take it out. Have you got the phone number? Let's get them on.
Well, you might have
how much to be governor?
To be governor.
Yeah, just governor.
Governor.
Yeah.
You'd probably be governor for a tenner.
Well, there's a famous person who's a baron.
Who?
Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran is the Baron of Sealand.
Since 2012. Specifically, Baron von Edward Sheeran of Sealand, to be correct.
Is Von Edward his actual middle name, or did he add that for the baronship?
No, it's what you add when you're royalty in Germany. Von.
Wow.
I know.
So,
or
he's
Van, as you sometimes see it in America.
Man, it's never enough with Ed Sheeran, is it?
It's never enough with Ed Sheeran.
It's like he's got everything, and he wants to be the Baron of Sealand.
I'm sure this is his greatest claim to fame. If we were to ask Ed Sheeran right now, he'd say, "What are you really excited about?" And he'd say, "Being a Baron of Sealand."
Yeah. So they must get a lot of people trying to come and see them. And
yeah. I mean, you're not the only one who's excited about this. According to the BBC,
no, I'm really excited.
I can tell. Now, according to the BBC, in 2020, they reported Sealand receives in excess of 100 emails a day, requests from wannabe citizens coming from all over the world.
Wow.
Now, if you're going to be a sovereign territory, if you're going to be a principality, what do you need? Well, there's an official flag, a constitution, passport stamps. I'm supposed to ask you about the stamps, Lewis.
Yeah, I've got a stamp in my a Sealand stamp in my passport.
Have
you? Do not.
Because you've been.
Yeah, I went there. Yeah, interviewed Liam, didn't I?
Of course.
And you didn't buy a title?
That was you interviewing
Yeah.
Liam. Amazing.
He was really planning on taking it over.
I could see he was so open in the conversation. I knew that.
He took me out there. Took me out in a boat, winched me up.
Amazing.
Onto Sealand.
You can't keep Lewis away from a winch, can you?
Was it exciting?
It was, yeah. Yeah, it was about an hour's boat ride out from the mainland, and then it just you can't see anything. It just finally comes into view after about an hour, and then you get there, and it's just this rudimentary winch, like a sort of a seat on a tree swing that just up you go, and we were on there, all day.
And then
got shown around.
Sealand.
Lewis gets to do all the fun stuff, and he's not even a baron.
Awesome.
Doesn't seem fair.
And who else was there on the?
Was Ed Sheeran there?
No, there was just one other guy who was just sort of pootling about, doing a bit of maintenance.
Oh, okay.
But
yeah, apparently they always keep one person on there for obvious reasons.
Just in case.
Can't
vacate the principality in case the Nazis come.
Right.
In case the pirates come.
They're always circling.
They are.
They're like sharks.
They haven't lost interest.
They're never far away.
Now, they even have a country motto, E mare libertas, from the sea, freedom.
Why not just say that? Why do they have to do the Latin thing?
I don't, because don't you do mottos in Latin?
It just seems
it's
a bit...
the king, e pluribus unum,
old school.
Semper ubi sub ubi.
You're trying to...
You know what that means? Always wear underwear.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, thank you.
Is that Latin?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of bastardized Latin.
I think if you want to appeal to the next generation of Sealand fans, you're going to probably ditch the Latin.
Oh, yeah. You got to get it. It's got to have more riz.
Yeah, it's got to be funky.
Funky, yeah. It should be like our platform bitches.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll work.
All
that'll
aboard.
work. Bring it. Or just bring it. That's the motto. Bring it.
Bitches.
They have a family fishing business. They once ran it as a data haven, which makes sense. I don't know how this is possible. They've entered international football tournaments and have an American football team called the Sealand Seahawks. Now, at this point, it's worth pointing out that Seattle, the city, has its own team called the Seattle Seahawks. So I don't know how you can get away with having the Sealand Seahawks.
Okay, are they good?
I've never heard of them.
Right.
Something tells me they won't hire Tom Brady as the next quarterback.
Well, it could be one of those, give it 10 years and someone, some movie star buys them and injects all their money into it, and there could be a Sealand Netflix series.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You
With
say
just the
that,
one guy.
Tom. Apparently, when I was there, they were saying that Liam Neeson was close to playing the movie of Sealand. He was going to be the lead role.
Roy.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Oh, he'd be great for Roy.
It would.
Liam loves vengeance.
Liam, if you're listening, you've got a very special skill set. And I
Liam,
think that skill set belongs in Sealand.
I will take you in a fight.
Man, just picking fights with everybody.
I've threatened Mike Tyson in an episode. I'm threatening you now. I'll take you both down.
Oh, boy.
One punch each.
Well,
this is an amazing story,
isn't it? Now, you have to give it to Sealand, though, as they are ahead of the curve as far as nations are concerned in moving to clean energy. It's powered by 95% renewable energy.
Okay, nice.
There you go.
What we saw is sea and wind power.
Sea and wind, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, it would seem pretty lame to import electricity when you've got all that stuff around you.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't know. I didn't see any wind farm or anything, so I'm assuming it's either solar panels or some type of hydroelectric.
That's nice.
And as Lewis mentioned, there's always at least one person present on the platform to make sure that they can protect it and keep that claim of independence. Well, it's not really independent anymore because it's in the British territorial waters, but to keep Sealand real.
Yeah. And stop squatters.
And stop squatters. And stop pirates.
Yeah. I hope one day that England play Sealand in the World Cup. It seems like one of those games we could lose 2-1. And it would be a sort of disgrace, a huge moment for Sealand and an absolute...
They could probably beat Notts Forest right now, though, when you think about it.
Yeah, they could. Well, they could probably beat San Marino. And yeah, is Roy's dead? And Liam?
Yeah, Liam's alive. Yeah.
Liam's alive.
Yeah.
And Michael?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Great.
Do
they play in the Sealand team?
I don't know, but I wouldn't threaten to fight those guys because they sound serious.
No, they sound very persuasive.
Yeah. So how should we? What's their last thoughts about the Principality of Sealand?
I love the audacity. I love this Roy guy. He was out there looking for his thing. It was fishing. It was radio. Then it was just starting a country. I just love the kind of single-mindedness of this guy. He's an inspiration.
Yeah, I think it shows that if you're one man with a dream, there's absolutely no end to the amount of trouble and nonsense you can cause.
Yeah. And if you just got to believe in yourself, and if you can be friends with stunt helicopter pilots from the James Bond franchise, that could come in useful.
And Ed Sheeran.
Yeah. Anything is possible.
Anything is possible in this wonderful world.
Producer Lewis here. Thanks for listening to this episode of Where Did Everyone Go? New episodes every Wednesday and Sunday. Follow, comment, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out.